Blackmail me with money? Go f yourself.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it.
Really?
Okay, just put your manners back in.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the.
Celebrities often face interviews where reporters push their agendas instead of asking fundamental questions. These interviews are designed to spark controversy, not conversation. But what happens when celebrities respond with unwavering confidence and the truth? Here are the 10 moments when celebrities shut down woke reporters. Let's start with an interview in which Jake Hamilton, the reporter, was uncomfortable, but Samuel L. Jackson wasn't letting him off the hook that easily. Jackson challenged him. If they were going to have this conversation, Hamilton needed to say the N-word out loud, not hint at it, not dance around it, say it. Hamilton refused.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
Jackson leaned in, pressing him with a teasing but firm insistence. The tension grew. To cover his nervousness, Hamilton laughed nervously, trying to move on, but Jackson wasn't budging.
We're not going to have this conversation unless you say it.
He chuckled, waiting, watching, letting the moment stretch. Then, just when it seemed Hamilton might crack, Jackson finally let him off the hook. It was all in good fun. Or was it? Sometimes reporters don't know where to draw the line and cross boundaries, but Tom Cruise knows how to put them back in their place with style. The interview started fine, but things quickly took a turn. When asked if Nicole Kidman was the love of his life,
Was Nicole the love of your life?
Tom Cruise answered politely.
What do you mean, Peter?
But the reporter didn't stop. He kept pushing, asking more personal questions.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
Cruise's smile disappeared. His voice grew firm. He wasn't going to let this slide. Calm but grave, he told the reporter he had crossed a line.
Here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
This wasn't just some tiny mistake. It was disrespectful. The reporter quickly apologized, but Cruise wasn't done.
I suppose they're questions though,
Peter.
that people want to know.
Peter,
He made it clear that asking such private questions was not okay.
put your manners back in.
He didn't yell or lose his temper. But his message was substantial. Respect matters. And just like that, the power shifted. The reporter had gone too far, and Cruise made sure he knew it. Before the moment could settle, Denzel Washington stepped in with a different kind of lesson. He wasn't shutting down a rude question. He was calling out the entire media industry. With calm authority, he warned reporters about the dangers of chasing speed over truth.
One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore.
In their rush to be first, facts got lost and trust suffered. He made it clear. Misleading stories weren't just careless mistakes, they were harmful. They shaped false realities, and once lies spread, they were hard to take back. His words weren't angry, just firm.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
The media had a duty to be honest, and Washington wasn't about to let that slide. He left them with a warning. Get the truth right, or risk losing all credibility.
To tell the truth, not just to be first.
Next on the list, Morgan Freeman didn't hesitate to challenge the reporter's focus on race. He dismissed the idea that success or wealth should be tied to race, insisting that determination and mindset matter more.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot? Yeah.
No,
You don't?
no.
Using both himself and the reporter as examples, he drove his point home. Hard work, not constant division, is what leads to progress.
Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that.
While he acknowledged that racial issues exist, he made it clear that talking about them endlessly only fuels the problem. His frustration was obvious.
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Instead of dwelling on barriers, he urged people to focus on moving forward. Some reporters seem to believe that their guests are their personal property, giving them the right to ask anything they please. Robert Downey Jr.'s patience quickly ran out as the interviewer crossed a line by pushing for personal details about his father and past struggles with addiction.
Your relationship with your father and
taking drugs and drinking and all of that.
At first, the conversation seemed to stay on track, focusing on his film, but the questions took a sharp turn. Downey tried to steer things back,
Have as much time as anyone else will.
politely redirecting, but the interviewer wasn't backing off. Frustration bubbled up as Downey questioned the reporter's motives, pointing out how the shift from professional to personal made him uncomfortable.
You think you're free of all of that? Or whether that's still something...
sorry.
With no resolution in sight, he took control of the situation, ending the interview firmly. It was a clear message. There's a line between work and personal life, and he wasn't about to let it be crossed. The interview ended abruptly, leaving the interviewer with no more questions, and Downey's boundary clearly set.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
The show didn't end there. Kurt Russell didn't hold back when defending the Second Amendment during his heated exchange on The View. Bahar pushed him on gun control, but Russell remained firm, emphasizing the Founding Fathers' intent.
You felt gun control laws wouldn't deter terrorists.
He pointed out how the Second Amendment protected people during times of conflict, even referencing the Civil War as an example.
Its own government. We had our Civil War.
Then the conversation shifted. Russell questioned the role of actors in politics, criticizing how such discussions often lacked solid foundation. He made it clear that while he was an actor, issues like gun control and terrorism belonged in the real world, away from the fantasy land of Hollywood. His calm yet firm response made it clear this wasn't a space for shallow opinions, but a serious conversation about real-world issues.
There's a big difference between fantasy land and reality. Fantasy land is what we do.
As Russell spoke, it became evident that his stance wasn't just about defending his views. It was about encouraging more thoughtful, informed discussions on challenging topics. In this heated debate, Denzel Washington stood his ground when discussing the importance of a black director in filmmaking, emphasizing that it's not about color, but culture.
It's not color, it's culture.
He explained how cultural experiences deeply influence storytelling, using the example of Spielberg's Schindler's List and Scorsese's Goodfellas.
Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List.
While both directors could theoretically swap projects, their cultural perspectives would remain different. Denzel highlighted this distinction by sharing an experience that was uniquely personal.
It is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference.
The smell of a hot comb on a Sunday morning. It's a simple but powerful metaphor for how culture shapes understanding. After that, the conversation quickly pivoted, with Denzel driving home the point that stories rooted in specific cultural experiences need those who understand those intricacies to bring them to life.
See how everybody laughed? That's a cultural difference. That's not a race difference.
It wasn't about race. It was about understanding the details, the small things that authenticate a story's conversation about politics. Denzel's statement wasn't just about drawing a line. It was about a deeper understanding of how culture and experience shape the narrower shared narratives, a call for authenticity in the world of storytelling, stressing that the best films come from those who truly live and understand the stories they tell. Well, how can we forget Bill Burr when we're watching the destruction of woke culture? In a recent conversation on Joe Rogan's podcast, comedian Bill Burr took a no-holds-barred approach to society's obsession with beauty standards, laughing off the idea of ugly people demanding the same treatment as those with traditionally perfect looks.
That's why ugly people are complaining so much.
Burr humorously points out that rather than dwelling on unfair treatment, people should work on their personalities or learn to crack a good joke, as he and other average folks do.
They won't take the time to develop a fucking personality.
He admits that he doesn't belong in the Brad Pitt category, but he isn't bothered by the preferential treatment given to beautiful people. Burr sees it as part of reality. Supermodels make magazine covers because they're extraordinary, not just because they exist. He argues that expecting the same treatment for everyone, regardless of their looks, is unrealistic. In typical Burr fashion, he also critiques woke culture for pushing equality while overlooking the very differences that make life interesting.
most of us have to do. Like, I don't get mad at Brad Pitt. You know, how come he fucking, because he's fucking beautiful.
His take encourages people to embrace who they are and laugh at the absurdity of trying to force a one-size-fits-all standard of beauty. Some reporters cannot feel at peace unless they seek their own downfall. The moment grew tense when Sean Strickland, faced with tough questions about LGBTQ+ issues, turned the tables. Instead of backing down, he fired back, bluntly asking the reporter if he was gay.
Let me know, are you gay?
The reporter hesitated, caught off guard by the direct challenge. But Strickland wasn't done. He called the reporter pathetic.
When he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic.
Accusing him of lacking the courage to stand up for what he believed in.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude.
His words hit hard, drawing a clear line between strength and weakness. Strickland's frustration boiled over as he linked the reporter's questioning to what he saw as weak leadership, criticizing his stance on policies he deemed oppressive.
He shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts. You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
It was a full-force response that made his views on integrity and toughness crystal clear. The reporter, stunned, had nowhere to go as Strickland's fiery words filled the air, making the entire exchange impossible to forget. Finally, in a heated exchange on a panel, Ben Shapiro didn't hold back as he tore apart the woke argument on race and income inequality. Using data from Pew Research, Shapiro highlighted the stark wealth gap between white and black families, pointing out that in 2013, white families had a net worth of $141,000, while black families had a net worth of just $11,000.
According to Pew Research, the net worth of white families in 2013 was $141,000. For black families, it was $11,000.
But instead of agreeing with the typical narrative about racism causing this divide, Shapiro argued that it's more about culture than race.
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture.
He challenged the panel, asking tough questions about issues like black kids not graduating high school, high crime rates, and the rising number of single-parent households in black communities.
Black kids aren't graduating high school.
In his view, Shapiro pointed out that these problems have nothing to do with race and everything to do with cultural factors. He even questioned whether America is more racist now than it was back in the 1960s, highlighting the progress made by the civil rights movement. In the end, with his usual sharpness and confidence, Shapiro didn't just offer opinions. He backed them up with facts and challenging questions. His direct approach left the woke panel struggling to respond, again proving why he's known for quickly dismantling these discussions. Thanks for watching. That's all for today. So, after all these fiery moments, what's your take? Do these celebrities have a point, or are they just pushing back too hard against the woke culture? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.